What's up, guys? Chuck Burns, Chuck Burns for the USA YouTube channel. Do a quick little video response because I'm gonna leave a link on his page at the bottom with the address, but spaces between everything because YouTube doesn't like you leave links in your comments. But I'm gonna leave one there for everybody anyway. This is in response to a David Pakman video I watched. This video is a little old from March 13th of this year, but I thought it was really relative to do something on it right now because this video, the title was called "Question: Are Republicans mad that the economy's or the stock market's doing so well and unemployment's down? Are we mad? Are we mad because it makes Obama look good? Or am I more mad that you're just completely abusing the truth of this issue, actually, and misrepresenting the facts in a huge way? Let's get this straight, right? The stock market's up because Bernake, and he talked to all the guys on Wall Street, it's a Fed-driven economy right now. Bernake's printing money out of thin air, devaluing our currency. Inflation does exist, my friend, and it's going on to a tune of $85 billion a month that came out of thin air. Printed by and given to us by an organization that we don't even own. It's not really the Federal Reserve. Nothing federal about that. There is federal as Federal Express, I think is the expression as it goes. Because if we owned it, why would we pay it back interest? We wouldn't. But that's why the stock market's huge. These bankers that own the Fed giving other bankers money. I mean, as long as they keep doing that, of course it's going to be good. You dummy. Unemployment being up, or being down, sorry. Well, let's not take into account that 90% of the jobs created, basically, in the past couple of years have been part-time employment. The rate of full-time employees is going, the percentage of full-time employees as a percentage of workers in our economy that are full-time is going down every single month. It seems like, in an exponential fashion, especially with Obamacare, because now that if you have them full time, you have to offer them things. It's cheaper to have 3 employees that work like less than 30 apiece than 2 guys that work over 40. It's because your personal expenses as a business owner are down now, as you have the 3 employees going under 30, as opposed to 2 40 or a little over, or right around the same neck of the woods. 80, 90s, same amount of hours basically worked, but a lot lower in cost to the business owner. There's no incentive for anybody to be full-time anymore because Obamacare has destroyed that incentive by making it so that it's a lot cheaper for you to basically have multiple employees instead of just a few good ones. So, yeah, your whole argument basically, like I'm making the point right now, is based on a lie. But I thought it was relevant to, when I saw this, to do something in response to it right now, was this right here. This is the reason why. I hear you saying, saying all these things about, I think they're mad about the stock market being up and the employment being down. Well, that would insinuate that they're vindictive, and that they don't want what's good for the American people. No, I disagree with Republicans in a lot of ways. I think a lot of them are lost. I think they violate their own principles in many fashions, but I think they're a lot closer than the left ever will be and ever could be, because that is what it is. The left could never be being what it is, near right. And the right, they're a lot more right. Now, I bring this up now because we're going to talk about vindictive. You want to talk about poking your fingers in somebody's eye, and you want to get your way. Well, look at what Obama and the Park Service did when they to the World War II monument. The veterans that came to the World War II veterans came to the World War II monument. They had called the president and said, "We want to make sure this is open." He didn't lift a finger. Representative Gomer, a few other people went down there, actually opened it up. They blocked off the World War II monument memorial. They blocked off Jefferson. They blocked off Abraham Lincoln. It's like all those monuments. These are open monuments. There's no blocked gates, doors from keeping you from going inside. They're open air. They spent money that we don't have to go put barricades up. They paid somebody to do it. They rented them or got them from wherever, bought them, who knows. And that was all money that we don't have. And they spent money to do that and wasted money just to make a point. That's vindictive. You want to talk about Reid? After the White House meeting today, going out and saying, "Well, I don't care about cancer," blowing it off, whatever. It's like, hold on, you're denying funding to these people. The Republicans are saying, what? Let's keep the government going in a lot of ways. Let's fund the parks. Let's fund these medical research places and hospitals. Let's fund that, because we're not to the debt ceiling yet, but we're not going to give you what you want because you're just disagreeing with the American people and what they want. Because 60 to 70%, depending on what poll you read, don't want Obamacare. But for some reason, they're still jamming it down our throats. Republicans are acting on the majority of the country's desires. And they're acting on the minority. That's disgusting. That's vindictive. Them closing monuments, keeping funding from hospitals, and they pass like individual budgetary bills, like saying, there's a bill for the funding of this department, this department, things that are essential. They go, we'll fund that. We can't let that shut down. But we're not going to give you what you want because you're ignoring the American people, and they are, and that's vindictive. So, do we take joy in the economy, or do we take do we get anger, and would we not take joy if the economy went south right now and the jobs we got the unemployment number went up again? Would we take joy in that? No, we wouldn't. We take a lot more joy though in the unemployment number being lowered because of actual good work being created, not just part-time work. We take enjoyment in we take enjoyment in the stock market being up, not because we were printing fake money. We take a lot more enjoyment in that. If the economy was actually really good and it's being propped up by the Federal Reserve, that would make us really happy. And am I angry that it's up right now? I'm angry. I'm angry for reasons like I mentioned, but I'm not angry because it's helping people out. I'm angry that the Federal Reserve has to print the money to make it go up. I'm mad that the jobs that are being created, the numbers that we see, are based on part-time work being created, and then employers saving money, not giving people health care, because that's what Obamacare did. Those like three things right there. Those are the kind of things that make me angry. Not that it's doing good, but why? What's behind it? Because what's behind it is a lie, and that lie will do is destroy us, because you know what? It's all based on nothing. False premises. And this, like I said, the point of this video, I felt like I had to do it because I saw this and it was like, you get the question, the whole title of the video, like, we're vindictive. When your party is the one out there right now being vindictive about the shutdown, making sure you make it hurt as much as possible for America so they give you what you want, inflicting your will through basically coercion on the people that you act like you're the rulers of and not our elected officials and leaders. So this is the show this was on was the David Pakman show. David Pakman, you're a clown. You're a leftist clown, been educated by a leftist political system. I know you will probably never change what you believe, because for any liberal to change what they believe, especially the older you get, and to change your beliefs, means that for up until this moment, you have been living a lie. It means that you have to admit that all these years you've been wrong, that you were misinformed by a liberal school system and liberal academia and bad teachers that didn't teach you the facts, but give you half-truths, taught you how to insult, how to question people's integrity, like that question that you titled this video with, instead of actually basing your arguments on the facts and the truth of the matter. Instead, you demean your enemies and try to make them the villains and paint your side as the victim, when really it's the opposite of that. Mr. Pakman, that's disgusting. It's a lie, and you know it. And it would show a great deal of courage on your part for you to admit it. But I don't think you ever will. The same reason that Americans, even though they see all these lies going on, don't stand up and take the power that the citizen has back. Because for as much as they have the power to stand up and take the power back from these corrupt politicians, corrupt political elite on both sides of the aisle, doing so would mean admitting something to themselves. That all this time that we've been abused as a country, as citizens, up until this point, we've been cowards. That's what that would mean admitting. When you stand up and say, I have the power, that means that up until you've realized that, you've lived a coward's life. And that's what keeps them sitting and keeps them from standing up. Their ego. Their selfish ego for not wanting to paint themselves as weak. When really they can move on to something better and be strong. It's like your ego won't let you move on because you won't admit the lies you preach. So instead you continue to live it. But the facade is crumbling. And when you finally realize it, I won't even hold it against you, as long as you get in the freedom side.